page on your
Facebook, yeah. Facebook and
Facebook?
YouTube. Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're live. All right. Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Sorry, folks. Anybody who's been waiting for the 1 o'clock countdown, yeah, 1:13. Not our fault.
Yeah.
I wrote a blog once called Why I Hate Technology. Technical difficulties, it's my middle name. So
That's hilarious.
yes, it really is Judy, technical difficulties, Morgan. Okay, so welcome aboard, everyone. Hopefully you found us after our little glitch there. Be Live did not want to play today, so we switched over to Riverside. There's a lot of different programs we can use. Usually Be Live plays nicely, but today it said no. So for those of you who are joining us, my guests today are the wonderful ladies from CocoTherapy.
Yay.
They're so cute. They're so tiny.
Yours is just tiny. I don't know.
I know, and I'm gonna say, I say this almost every time I interview you guys. I don't know how you walk around in your 5-inch heels. Like, I can't do that for 3 seconds, and you do it all day long.
It's training from 4th grade.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Seriously, I guess I never got trained, and you know what? For me, flip-flops is all the way. So I always wanted to live somewhere where I didn't have to wear anything other than flip-flops. I'm close. All right, so the reason that I am being joined by my dear friends Carmina and Carisa is that they are gold sponsors for our event, which is taking place on August 5th at the Q Center in St. Charles, Illinois. And this is one of the 3 Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets Experience events. The first one was in Tampa, Florida. It was wildly successful. People learned a lot, and the swag bags are to die for, let me just say. So this event is August 5th in St. Charles, Illinois, and we hope as many people as possible will join us live at the event, because there is nothing like being live in a room, being able to talk to people like these ladies and all of our other vendors and sponsors who, if they're being allowed in the building to be at our event, that means that they are at the level of purity and quality and integrity that we insist on. So we're very, very happy to have CocoTherapy sponsoring our event. So tell us what CocoTherapy is for anybody who's been hiding under a rock and doesn't know who you are and what you do, because I've interviewed you a lot just because I really like you guys and I like spending time with you. But tell us how long you've been working with coconuts and where you get your coconuts, because you're in Chicago and I don't think you're growing coconuts in Chicago. And if you are, you've got a secret that we all need to know.
No. Yeah. Well, we've been with coconuts or growing up with coconuts all our lives. We were born with it. It was in our family for 3 generations. My grandparents started it. So we have a family farm in the Philippines and a facility in the Philippines. It's USA Organic Certified and non-GMO verified farm. So we've grown up with coconuts all our lives, basically.
And what made you be crazy and say, oh, I think we should feed coconut oil to pets, and then we should make it into a business?
Yeah. Well, like everything, and I think pet parents can relate to this. It starts with an own experience, because before CocoTherapy, we had a pet accessories and clothing line that we started in 2003, and we had dog models. We had a little Yorkie named Barbie. Oh no, it was not Barbie, it was Violet.
Yeah.
And she had the worst allergies. So that's what started us down this path. And we found out, we learned through experience and working with a wonderful integrative vet that you probably know, Dr. Karen Becker, that coconut oil can help with allergies. So we looked at each other, knowing with our experience with coconut oil, we're like, oh my goodness, put 2 and 2 together. The answer is so obvious, and you don't apply it to yourself. But we started giving coconut oil to Violet, and we saw how much it helped her. And it was our coconut oil we gave her. And then we found out little by little that there's a lot of differences with how coconut oil is made and the different types. So when we tried other coconut oils, we saw that it didn't work as well as CocoTherapy did. So that started us on our journey into learning the differences and what it was. So in 2009, we started CocoTherapy, the brand. We wanted to bring our own coconut oil in.
Now, did your family with the coconut farm, did they make and sell coconut and coconut oil products as a business?
They actually did. My family, they made coconut oil for the nutraceutical industry. So they were made for MCT, lauric acid pills, for example, and they supplied MCT to the preemie baby food formulas and the GI foods that you have if you see medium chain fatty acids. So they made it specifically for that. We didn't make RBD, which is refined bleach and deodorized oil, or hexane oil, coconut oil from sources for cosmetic reasons, for shampoos and soaps. We made it specifically for the reason, which is why the quality of our oil is different from some of the oils that you can buy in
Yeah.
grocery stores. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense then, because if you're making it for baby formula and pharmaceutical uses, that's going to be a lot different. Well, that explains a lot. See, I just learned something new, and I've interviewed you guys how many times? That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, so obviously it helped your allergy dog. What else should we be using coconut oil, coconut meat, and MCT oil for?
Well, coconut oil is a wonderful anti-inflammatory. I always tell people when they don't understand coconut oil, we say it's the same fats found in mother's milk. So you know how mother's milk, when babies drink it, it helps support a healthy immune system. So they don't have to be afraid of these medium chain fats. Coconut oil is primarily a medium chain fat, which helps support the immune system. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, which is what prevents puppies and babies from getting sick, right? So when people give it to their animals as a food supplement, it helps with a whole host of things. So whether they have joint issues, allergies, skin, coat health, yeast, because caprylic acid kills yeast, it just helps with that. And another bonus is it helps brain health. So it feeds the brain because it's metabolized differently. It's converted to ketones by the liver, and those ketones go and feed the brain. So it's wonderful for dogs with seizures, with dementia, doggy dementia. So it just helps overall from young puppies up to older dogs, especially senior dogs. Yeah.
So when we're talking about the senior dogs and we're talking about dementia or seizures and we're looking at brain health, should we be focused more on using MCT oil over coconut oil?
I You wanna feel answer like that? we should use coconut oil specifically, unless you have a dog with, so coconut oil has caprylic, lauric, and capric acid. So the rate of conversion to ketones differs. So caprylic and capric acid being smaller molecules, they're converted to ketones at a faster rate. So, but they also get used up A lot a lot faster. faster. Lauric, but they do help, they do cross the blood-brain barrier as blood ketones. Now, lauric acid actually gets converted to ketones at a slower rate. So they actually cross the blood-brain barrier and gets converted to brain ketones as opposed to blood ketones. So we feel like virgin coconut oil is probably better because you get all of the medium chain fats. However, if you have a dog that is highly sensitive to fat and has or a dog with pancreatitis, for example, or a dog, that just cannot digest fat, then MCT oil would definitely help with that as well. Definitely.
Okay. Well, see, I just learned something. So the MCT oil is higher in the caprylic acid, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Caprylic and capric.
Yes. And capric. Okay. And then the coconut oil is going to have a lot more of the lauric acid in it.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. So, and I talk about using coconut oil a lot for flea repellency. Like it works really, really well.
It really does.
So, the great thing about it, you can use it topically, but you can also use it internally. So
Yeah.
you can kind of attack things from both sides. And certainly rubbing some coconut oil into your pet's skin, it's so moisturizing and so healthy for them. And then, they groom it off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, getting more. So,
Yeah.
and I have to say, my granddaughter, when she was a wee little thing and we were changing a lot of diapers, there was a lot of coconut oil that went on that child. Instead of buying chemical-laden diaper rash stuff, the coconut oil works so well. And she's really, her skin is really, really sensitive even still.
Yeah.
to any kind of detergents or just kind of anything touches her skin, she breaks out. Coconut oil is amazing.
Yeah.
It
that
is.
kid that kid lives in coconut oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so do
Yeah.
we.
Yeah.
So do we.
And here's a tip I tell people, especially in the summer. You know how when you're walking your dogs out in the grass and there's a lot of pesticides and you're so afraid of all the what weed killers and everything, and your dog is gonna walk on grass with that. So what we do with our dogs is before I walk, I rub coconut oil on the paws of her pad, and it actually protects her. So when she's walking out there, I feel like there's a barrier in her paws. So when she's running
Interesting.
out in the grass, there's like a coating oily barrier and she's running out there, it sort of repels all that repellent, all that, pesticides. And then when you come back in, I'll wipe her paws off and clean it off. But the coconut oil gives it a layer of protection. So I tell
That's
people
cool.
that all the time. Yeah.
Okay, another new
something to
use
do.
for it.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So, when I met you originally, you had your coconut oil. I don't even think you had the MCT oil yet.
No,
No,
not
not
we
yet.
did not.
You had the coconut oil, and I think you had the coconut chips
Chips.
and the hairball fiber,
Yeah.
which is amazing, by the way. If you have cats that are puking hairballs, that's not normal. Get them some fiber, and the coconut fiber they like, and it's easy to do. So, but then you guys started making treats and all kinds of cool things, and every time I turn around, there's something new. Which, by the way, I interviewed you when you came out with your new. They're not the Cocoa Charms, and they're not the cookie. The ones with the
coconut
moringa,
milk clones,
the
coconut
gems,
milk.
the
the
gems,
Yeah.
Okay.
the gems, and you put moringa in them. And
Yeah.
I had never heard of moringa, and then all of a sudden, I guess it's because it's sort of like you never see a VW bus until you think about one, and then you'll see 20
Right.
of them.
Exactly.
So I never thought about moringa because I never heard of it, didn't know what it was. And then we
Right.
talked about all the health benefits of it, and then all of a sudden, what is showing up? And plus, our computers listen to us. What is showing
yeah.
up
Oh, they
in
do.
my
Oh,
feed?
yeah, they do.
Like I'm seeing all these scientific articles about the benefits of moringa suddenly, and I'm like, okay, didn't know so many people were
Yeah.
it's kind of amazing. But you guys are smart about this stuff, and so you're always like you make functional treats. They're not just here have a treat. They have a purpose as well.
Right, right. Well, the funny thing about moringa is it's not that we read any scientific studies, it's we grew up with it. So, I mean,
Huge
it's
in the
just,
Philippines.
it's
Yeah.
so big
Yeah.
in the Philippines. We grew up with it. When we were sick, I mean, it was like chicken noodle soup, except it was moringa soup. So, and we did that for ourselves. I mean, we did that as growing up as kids and with our animals,
animals
as well, our
always had
dogs. So
moringa.
that
Yeah.
was, and it grew everywhere like a weed. It's like a tree.
Everybody
So
has moringa bush in their backyard. It's just
it's
yeah.
just how it was. So
Yeah.
And then
very
does everybody go out and pick stuff off their bush if somebody gets
Yes,
sick?
yep, and
yes,
that's what we
and
did.
we have videos on it, and we never again we took it for granted,
Yeah.
and then we just loved it. The more we read about it, we're like, you know what? Oh my gosh, these people are onto something. These
Well,
people-
we would use it for our pets, and I mean, it's just so hard, especially here in the U.S., to find moringa. You
Yeah.
can't go to a grocery store and find moringa.
But I mean, it literally has more iron than spinach, and we know spinach is high in iron, and it's got more protein than yogurt. It's got so many things. It's a natural chelator, which it detoxifies from heavy metals, which is probably why it helps so much.
Why hasn't ladies, why hasn't somebody just said, hey, we can import a whole bunch of this stuff and sell it in the health food stores or the grocery food stores as like, a frozen vegetable?
Yeah.
You know what?
It's hard to find fresh moringa.
Yeah, it's
I've
hard
looked
to,
for
yeah,
it.
it's hard to find fresh moringa unless you grow it yourself. I know Dr. Becker actually has a tree that she grows
grows some
herself.
moringa,
Yeah,
yeah, in Arizona,
she
yeah.
does in Arizona, but it's hard to find it fresh, but you can find it in powder form. But the only problem with finding moringa is you really have to be careful with the sourcing, because when we wanted to come up with these moringa treats, it was over 2 years ago. It was hard for us to find moringa that wasn't heavy, that didn't have a lot of heavy metals in it. It always tested positive for heavy metals, or more than we wanted to. It had to be.
Is that
to be a
because of the
certain level.
soil it's grown in or pesticides being used? What's
Maybe.
the
It,
source?
it could be the soil, because you can get moringa
That's
from
right.
different Asian countries. The Philippines is probably #1 exporter of the powder.
Yeah.
It could be the soil, and it's just the leaves have a tendency to attract
Heavy
bind
metals.
heavy metals, which is why it's such a good chelator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So maybe
maybe
that's
that's-
why. But
Yeah.
I mean, so sourcing for us is really important. I think that's why it's so hard for when we make our treats. I mean, it takes us years, 2 years
to
probably,
find
to find the right
ingredients,
source.
to find the source.
Exactly, and we knew we
Yeah.
wanted to come up with a moringa treat. I don't think we did a search and couldn't find a treat with moringa. Plus, people don't understand it. I mean, they don't want to go get a powder and sprinkle it. They don't know how much to
Right.
give or whatever.
Sure.
So we thought we need to come up with a good source of moringa treat, and that's basically what we came up with. So yeah, I eat them. I eat our moringa treats literally to get our moringa in.
They're not the taste. Well, to
I
me, they're
think they
not.
taste good. I like
You
it.
do? I
Yeah.
like occasionally.
I haven't tried them, but maybe I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the ingredients. It's organic moringa. It's organic everything.
Yeah.
So does are there any studies? And now I'm gonna have to go look. Are there any studies on moringa for like cancer treatment or prevention?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there are a lot, and off
Yes.
the top of my head, I can't name them. But I did write a blog on it, and on our blog things, and to talk about moringa and the benefits, and we definitely reference a lot of studies.
Cool. All right, I'll take some treats home for my little guy with the bladder cancer. He can.
Yeah.
He's always looking for something good.
Yeah,
Luckily.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, back to our event. I'm so excited that you guys are going to be there. It is in your backyard. But normally we connect at Global Pet and at Super Zoo, and you guys decided that you were all going to do each one every other year. And then we decided that I was never going to go to Super Zoo again. That was Gwen's thing. So we haven't been able to connect in person. Yeah, I don't like the whole Vegas cracking the skull thing.
Yeah,
So
I don't blame you. It's
Yeah.
tough.
not going to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But so we will be at Global this next year. But we haven't seen you guys for a while. So I'm excited. It'll be
Me
fun.
too.
Are you going to
Um,
hit HVMA?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
I'm
we'll be there.
speaking at AHVMA, as a matter of
Oh
fact.
my gosh. Okay, so we'll see you there then.
Yes, absolutely. So, oh, good. I'm going to get to see a bunch of you guys this year. That's
Yeah.
fun. And I'm going to take notes. Maybe I'll video how you walk in your shoes, because
There
it's
you
going
go.
to happen for me.
Just rub coconut on your feet. You'll be fine.
Oh, is that the secret? I'll tell you, at the Tampa event, I was all over it. I wore these beautiful shoes. They're like soft Italian leather. They're just the most gorgeous shoes, and they're really soft and really comfortable. But they have these huge heels on them, and I said, okay, I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna dress nice, and I'm gonna wear these shoes. I didn't speak until the afternoon, and I managed to make it all through the morning with those shoes on. And then when it was time for me to get up and speak, the shoes came off, and I was barefoot. So
Oh.
I just couldn't do it, and it really stunk. I was like, now I'm on stage and I don't have shoes on. But you know,
Oh.
it's a family affair. We can dress down.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so for anybody interested in going, there are still some tickets available. General admission is $79.99. VIP is $149.99. The VIP tickets are limited, but with VIP you get preferred seating throughout the event, more goodies in your swag bags, and all the swag bags are amazing. But
Oh yeah.
oh my God, the super ones. Copies of all the slides on a thumb drive for anybody who's a VIP. There will be a VIP lounge throughout the day with snacks and refreshments, and a cocktail reception from 4:30 to 6 for VIP speakers and major sponsors. So you'll get to spend more time with these lovely ladies.
And
They're
there's gonna
really
be door
fun.
prizes too, right, Dr.
And there's door prizes. There's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
it's fun,
We're putting it-
and it's just really well. And we've got Billy Hookman speaking, and we have Angela Ardolino. And if you've never heard Angela speak, the woman is funny. She is, and her brain is filled with all. She can spit out science like nobody's business and make it fun. And Billy's kind of the same way. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Both very
obviously
good
I
people.
will be speaking as well, and then there'll be open Q&A. So that's always fun, where we spend an hour and a half of rapid fire questions to me. Which is why I can't wear the heels, because I can't think and think about my feet at the same time. All right, so Joey, are you putting up a link? You can't. You can't. There's a link in the comments. Okay, thank you very much. All right, and if you'd like to be a sponsor or an exhibitor, I believe there may be 1 or 2 spots left, so you can get a hold of us. Krista at drjudymorgan.com is handling everything for us. She's amazing, and she will also be there. And we are thankful for Pug and Hound, who are sponsoring the Naturally Healthy Pets experience in Illinois. So August
So
5th, folks,
exciting.
be there or be square. It's going to be
Yep,
fun.
yep. Can't wait.
Thank you,
can't wait.
ladies.
All
And thank you
right.
for putting up with our technical difficulties.
No problem.
No problem.
Can't wait to see you. 2 weeks.
Yep, see you in a
2.5
couple weeks.